Hi there. Right, the keto diet and the 5 big mistakes those on it make time and time again. Usually end up then giving up on the keto diet and telling everybody it's rubbish and it doesn't work. It does work if you do it right, and everybody knows that there's so many health benefits, not just for now, but for your future health as well, the preventative side. That's for another video, but for now, let's look at the 5 key mistakes that people make when they're on the keto diet. Hi, once again. Okay, before we get into the 5 key reasons that people give up on the keto diet, just ask yourself and remind yourself, what is the keto diet? We all know that, simply put, it's a low carb, not zero, high fat, the right fats, and a moderate protein, not high protein. It's not the Atkins diet with high protein, although keto does have a higher protein aspect to it than, say, the usual carb-laden diet that you've probably all been following for years. Most of us eat. That leads to all sorts of health problems. We look around, we see it everywhere. Obesity, heart disease increasing, along with cancer rates on the up, and the alarming increase in those suffering early onset dementia and Alzheimer's. Now, when we're on a keto diet, the aim is to get our bodies to burn fat by getting ourselves into a ketosis state. Then we use the ketones producing ketosis for our energy instead of the glycogen stores we'd normally use for energy when we're on a carbohydrate-rich diet. Don't forget the keto diet principles: low carb, high fat, and moderate protein. If you have too much protein, it will be turned into sugar. This happens in your liver, which could then increase your insulin release. And we know insulin is the fat hormone. And what we're trying to achieve on a keto diet is low insulin release and not large spikes of insulin. Now, don't get me wrong, we need protein, a moderate amount, and we need some carbs, the right carbs though, but don't overdo the protein. Now, we also need fat in our keto diets, and it's a way that the new keto dieters can find challenging, as it is so alien to how we've been eating for all your life probably, to suddenly then change to eating fats you've always been told not to eat. We do need the right fats though, this is important. Okay, now that's out of the way, let's look at the 5 big mistakes, starting with number 1. Number 1, thinking we can eat more carbs and any carbs we want on a cheat day whilst we're on the keto diet. We cannot. We end up taking ourselves straight out of ketosis, and if we get in this cycle, we're just going to end up putting on more fat than when we started. Don't cheat. There's enough choice of foods to have to enjoy a fulfilling long-term way of eating and staying healthy and trim on a keto diet. No cheat days. Number 1 reason you'll end up stopping your keto diet, and you don't want to do that. Okay, let's move on to number 2. Okay, number 2 is eating too many hidden carbs, especially carbs derived from sugar content, such as in ketchup or any sugar-based sauce. It's out there all over the place. Now, there's lots of spices and herbs to flavour without resorting to the bad old ways of thinking just a bit of this will be okay. All these little bits add up. A type 1 diabetic who goes into hypo when the blood sugar falls too low, a way to bring that blood sugar up quickly is a teaspoon of honey or a glass of milk or fresh orange juice, when invariably the blood sugars then zoom up, and the next day they can still be sky high in double figures. Now, if you have the equivalent of honey, which can be hidden in all these sauces, your ketosis state, your body will react by releasing insulin to combat and this spike. So stop the hidden carbs. Just be careful what you're having, look at all the labels and keep off the sugar. There's enough. Once you've been in keto for a while, you will get used to it and know what you can and cannot do. Tomato sauce, use fresh tomatoes. few tomatoes are okay, they're fine. Don't overdo it, but you know, you can have some tomatoes to give you that tomatoey flavour. Okay, let's move on to number 3. Okay, number 3, not getting enough fats in your diet. And your keto diet needs fats, good fats. It's so effective. We should be aiming for really over 70%, pushing 80% of our diet to be made up of fats. And it's easy to do, you know, using the right fats, avocado oil, flax seeds, MCT, virgin olive oil, unrefined coconut oil, butter. Butter is great. You can put loads of things in butter and the flavour it gives with it. Bit of garlic in there as well. Oh, fantastic. Right. I know initially it seems really strange, but you really do need to put plenty of fats into that keto diet for it to work. It's difficult after you've been used to years and years, as I say, of this, oh, you shouldn't have too many fats. The essential part is, I cannot overemphasize enough, eat your fats and enjoy your keto diet. I think it's the best part of a keto diet. Fantastic. Okay, let's move on to number 4. Number 4 on the list is eat as much keto food as you want. Although it's not a calorie controlled diet, calories counting is an archaic way of measuring anyway, and this is the reason that all these calorie controlled diets don't work. It's not a case of saying you can eat as much as you want though on a keto diet. Whenever you want, whatever you want, you have to be reasonable and sensible with yourself. To be fair though, it's much easier not to overeat on a keto diet. You see, when you have lots of fat within your diet, it really does satisfy your hunger and your feeling of being full for longer. But it's not a license to eat mountains of food. Don't do it. Don't pile up and think this is wonderful. If you've been used to a way of eating mountains and mountains of foods, you'll soon get into a system where you'll find you don't need to have all the amounts of foods that you used to have, because it takes a lot longer to get to your stomach, this feeling of fullness when you're having just sugar-laden stuff. You don't need it, but don't overdo it. Okay, let's move on to number 5. Okay, number 5 on the list. It's probably one that isn't on a lot of lists, but I think this is the most important thing. And it's the main reason that people fail, not just in diets, but in lots of lifestyle choices that they make. I've had private clients for years in my role as an alternative therapist, and although I'm relatively new to this particular channel, I know I can help a lot of people with my way of working, especially with the keto diet. But this one actually baffles me, because when I look at all the channels, there's some really good keto channels out there, millions of views and subscribers. See lots of great videos about how you should do it, all the science behind it, how it works, but no one addresses the number one aspect of any diet or anything in life, really. To be successful or for things to work, your mindset needs to be reset, if you like. The mind's a powerful thing. It's probably the most powerful, it is the most powerful thing we have within our whole bodies. So really we need to get this conditioned to be able to do the keto diet and to believe that we can actually do it, because a lot of people can't really see themselves as being nice and slim, trim, not fat. When you've been in that way for many years, don't get me wrong, it's a big jump to think, how can you possibly look like that person that you see on the beach, down at the swimming pool, or walking down the street in the nice tight-fitting clothes that look really good because they've no fat on them. It's hard to vision yourself like this, but you need to be able to do this, and you can. Anybody can do it. I'm a big believer that anybody can do anything. Okay, there may be physical limits. I will never be an Olympic athlete or a basketball player because of my physical limitations. One, age, too old. There's probably no Olympics for over X number of years. Basketball, too little. I've always been too little. But I believe anybody can do anything within the physical limits. So a keto diet is so easy. Anybody can do it. Doesn't matter whether you're 20 stone now, 30 stone, 15 stone, 10 stone, you want to lose another stone, whatever it is, you can do it. But you need to get your mindset right. I believe the best way to do this is really through a self-hypnosis technique, which I've taught for years to my clients, and it works a treat. It's so easy to do. It's not mumbo jumbo. It really works, gets your mindset right. So what I'm going to do is in the description, for those that send for the free Keto Recipe Book, shortly I'll be releasing a free teachings on how to do self-hypnosis, because if you can do self-hypnosis, get your mind right, keep with me on this, because it really does work. It will be such a powerful part of your way in the keto diet and achieving what you want to achieve. Okay, so in the meantime, I wish you all good health, take care, and have a look in the description, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, from me, David H. Bye bye now.